Hello and welcome to this session on paid, earned, owned, and shared media. Businesses need to get a little more advanced in thinking about how our potential customers not only find us, but how they engage with us, either directly or indirectly. If our online marketing is going to work as effectively and efficiently as possible, we can't just have one horse in the race anymore, like just doing a search engine optimization campaign but ignoring everything else. This is where paid, owned, earned, and shared media come in, making your online marketing campaign much more well-rounded and better suited for lead generation in the much earlier phases of the marketing and sales funnels. According to research done by Forrester, during nearly two-thirds of the buying cycle, during the early research phase, your prospects are using online search, talking to peers, and reading what the experts have to say to form their opinion before they attempt to call you and generate a lead for your sales team. Peter O'Neill refers to this as the customer decision journey. Here you see a diagram showing how these elements work in relationship with each other. So let's break down to get specifics on what each one of them means. Of course, paid media is the media you pay for, like Google AdWords or other types of search or display advertising. This segment needs to have clear calls to action and the use of keywords, and content needs to address the problems or solutions your potential customer is looking for. So how can I use paid media without looking like a used car salesman? This one can be a little tricky. Misuse of paid media is one reason why public relations can have a negative connotation. You don't want to seem like this sleazy used car salesman who talks about your kids for 10 minutes only to see if he can upsell you. In most cases, media that you pay for is best saved for last. If you're using social media promotions, always humanize your message to make it more appealing. Add a little humor into your ad, and above all, make the value of your advertisement very clear. Avoid such practices as clickbait, something such as a headline designed to make readers want to click on a hyperlink, especially when the link leads to content of dubious value or interest, which give paid advertisements a bad rap. Provide valuable information in your content that's worth the click-through rate you want. In the end, always make sure that you have a good reason for interrupting your audience's normal feed. Owned media is the content that your business creates, like a blog, or the free download you can get from the banner in the sidebar. It's where you spend money in search engine optimization. Business-to-business marketers invest over $16 billion per year in creating content designed primarily to produce leads. Too many marketers are failing buyers with overly promotional and overly technical content that doesn't really address market challenges and customer needs. Business-to-business buyers are looking for content that's original, consultative, and highly pertinent to where they are in the decision-making process. Earned media is where the customer becomes the channel. Big influencers here are word of mouth, reviews and ratings, press releases, or any buzz or viral content. For example, in 2009, Pair did a study on the use of Twitter, and within 48 hours it was the most trending topic on Twitter and was carried in news outlets all over the world. While many businesses, particularly business to business, rely on word of mouth as a primary driver for leads, it's really only one small factor. The best place to start in order to gain an overview is by measuring share of voice. This will give you an understanding of your earned mentions while placing it in context within the industry, and will allow you to benchmark your progress against the competition. Here are a few tips to build toward that awareness and trust that you need. Offer to be a source for reporters. This builds good relationships. Be known as a gracious person. Give praise to others on social media when it's due to them. Show appreciation for the hard work and effort others have put forth in helping to define your industry. Write your own reviews on podcasts and books. This gives you a connection to the authors who produce these outlets and gives you a reason to reach out. Down the line, they may be more willing to return the favor. Be a part of the online community. When others leave you feedback, make sure you respond in a timely way and with grace and appreciation, even if the review is less than stellar. Engage with bloggers by leaving comments and following them on social media. Whenever you can contribute meaningfully to the conversation, do so. Be careful not to flood their feed. You can also share their published content with your audience. Such a generous gesture won't go unnoticed. Pitch newsworthy stories to journalists covering your industry. Give them everything they need for a slam dunk story, including visuals, fact sheets, quotes, and a summary of your story that features the who, what, when, where, why, and how of your piece. Shared media is largely influenced by social media activity. Are you following and sharing the content of the primary influencers in your category, and are they sharing your content? Are you engaged in LinkedIn groups or other verticals that are related to your category? Even if you only have 400 people following you, those 400 people have followers, and so on. So your network could potentially reach thousands of people that could click on or download your content. So how do we know what percentage of each type of media to use? Honestly, that's going to depend on your industry, your budget, and many other factors. Let's go through an example of a business-to-business marketing mix, complete with budgets and predictions. Let's use an example of Acme Company, a business-to-business company specializing in big data management. So let's start with these assumptions. The current revenue is $10 million. The goal revenue is $15 million, and an average sale is $250,000. The current traffic to the site is about 5,000 visitors per month, and the current visitor to lead conversion is a rate of about 0.5%, and lead to scale conversion rate is 20%. So, in order for Acme to gain $5 million in new sales, they will need 20 new customers who pay their average fee of $250,000. How are we going to find 20 new customers? Well, the vice president of Acme insists that none of his current leads in the pipeline came from a Google search. What we're going to need to do is think through a strategy that includes, but isn't limited to, these things. First, you want to identify the influencers in your space. Who is the one person or group of people your buyers will turn to for suggestions or answers? What Twitter handles or LinkedIn groups are actively influencing your target market? Who has a higher clout score or even an active Google Plus page? Then you need to identify the problems that your would-be customers are facing on a daily basis. Perhaps I need all of my company data in one place would be a problem. Thirdly, what are some search phrases in the space that are being used frequently, perhaps even jargon or acronyms? By using Google's search tools, we can uncover data from the worldwide searches and perhaps even pinpoint some geolocations where the terms are searched more often. We can use that geo-target to run a campaign or even run a direct mailer in those areas. Fourth, what are my primary competitors doing for search? What keywords are they targeting and bidding on? What kind of content are they promoting on their website? Are they retargeting me? All of these questions and many more can be answered, giving you a very good idea of the competitive landscape in order to see opportunities that may be wide open. What newsworthy things is the company doing or engaged in that could be used in a series of planned press releases? Perhaps the acquisition of another company, the launch of a new product, or the opening of a new office or a new market. What content do we need to develop? What should be segmented into blogs, how-tos, infographics, white papers, and ebooks? Should we have a resources section on our website? Do we need video content, since YouTube is the second largest search engine and 60% of the content is corporate? Develop a content calendar and strategize where you can build up your owned media and influence shared media. So, to determine the proper marketing mix, let's first look at paid media. Let's say research shows that the average cost per click on many of the industry words is about $10 per click. I'd like to get at least 30 clicks per day to give me enough data to make campaign decisions that are statistically significant. So Acme would be looking at about $9,000 in clicks and about $840 a month in management, and that's just for Google AdWords. Expand into items like Bing and Yahoo, retargeting, and other vertical display options, and the price could go up to about $20,000 per month pretty quickly. But let's say we put this at $10,000 at the low end and $20,000 at the high end. For the owned media strategy, we want to build up the corporate content quite significantly. We want to be careful as to not make the corporate content sound too biased or too technical. Our search engine optimization plan will address things like blog content writing and beefing up existing page content for products or services, among other things. But additional budget will be needed for things like white papers, ebooks, and infographics. You want all of your pieces well designed, with both digital and print versions. Don't skimp on the design, it matters. Our plan is for $2,520, but might want to budget an additional $5,000 per month for the creation of these and other pieces. With earned media, you might want to target one press release per month. You can syndicate it through something like PR Newswire. The result could be hundreds of additional links pointing to your website, which is great for search engine optimization, as well as some inquiries. This channel may also take some creative thinking about some of the potential viral content you might be able to produce, either written or video. Any poor ratings or reviews of your business will need to be addressed as well and may require some additional monitoring. Let's put this one at $5,000 per month in case you already have a public relations firm on retainer. Now let's talk about shared media. Here we'll need a team of folks monitoring the social networks, LinkedIn groups, forums, other blogs, etc., not only to see what the customer sentiment is for your industry, but also to keep a lookout for opportunities to engage in conversation, share a post or a white paper, address a problem with potential solutions, and syndicate your content through these channels to make your brand more visible. Let's budget an additional $1,500 for the monitoring and engagement places. Let's put this piece at $3,000 per month if you already have a social media company. So the total dollars allocated for this marketing mix would be this. For paid media, $10,000 to $20,000 a month. For owned media, $7,500 per month. For shared media, $3,000 per month. And for earned media, $5,000 per month. That's a total of $25,500 to $35,500 per month, or $306,000 to $426,000 per year. Sound like a lot? Well, let's consider that your business should be putting about 2 to 4% of your gross revenue towards marketing. So in the case of Acme, you could argue that they should be spending about $400,000 per year, excluding any marketing staff salaries or overhead. So that makes me think that they're pretty much in line. So with paid media, spending $10,000 per month should result in 1,000 new visits to the site or landing page that was set up. At a 0.5% conversion rate from visit to lead, we can hope to get 60 leads in a year. With owned media, our search engine optimization prediction suggests that we can increase the traffic flow of the website from 5,000 per month by 40 to 60% by the 12th month, resulting in a net increase of traffic of 2,000 to 3,000 more visits by the 12th month. The total increase over 12 months is about 16,000 visits. That equates to a new potential lead flow of 80 per year. And using the same assumptions for qualified lead ratio and close ratio, this channel could generate 8 additional customers at another $2 million. For earned and shared media, it may be difficult to attribute any leads or soft conversions to things like social media and public relations. For this reason, we utilize the multi-channel funnel option in Google Analytics to give us a better sense of how these channels may be assisting in conversions down the path. Some of these will have a direct impact on lead generation, such as press releases, and some social activity can be tracked and directly attributed. But overall, if this sample campaign is executed and performs as expected, and the assumptions hold true, then the $400,000 investment could yield the company nearly $4 million in sales, giving them 10 times the return on investment for the campaign. Every business and every campaign will need a multifaceted strategy, including paid, owned, earned, and shared media, regardless of your size or budget. If you don't have the budget and goals of an Acme, then start small, but have a strategy for all of these channels. The one-trick pony of running just a search engine optimization or a point-per-click campaign on their own may not get you to the goals you set. Don't try to just dip your toe in and expect dramatic results in 90 or 120 days. There will be lots of trial and error to see what generates the best results. So keep these key points in mind. Take the time to build your brand awareness and relationships with key influencers to get into earned content. Build up your content with helpful information that will benefit your prospects. Pay for media to boost your truly great content and avoid sounding like a used car salesman. Leverage social media networks to publish engaging and compelling content that draws people back to your website. Whatever recipe of content you use in your PR strategy, make sure to incorporate these 4 forms of media.